Greetings, YouTube. I feel like it's been years since I've made a video in my studio. I feel very proud of the studio. It's mainly things that subscribers have sent in the mail over the years, and the things I purchased I did with YouTube funds. So this really is a community space, as hokey as that might sound. But I was basically gone for about 15 days, give or take a few hours. And in my life, especially when you only do 2 to 3 broadcasts over the course of a couple weeks, feels like I've been gone for years. And I've literally been gone for years when it comes to Alliance War, because I don't care about it. In the off season, I'll care because, and this is exciting, we don't care about winning. So I can place champions and not even go into attack and get some cheap loyalty. And that loyalty adds up, especially for rank 4 materials. I need to do a video at some point over the evolution of what you should spend your loyalty on, because the value of what we perceive to be the most valuable resource in the loyalty store, the revamped loyalty store, I should say, because the loyalty store's been around a long time, but we had over a year ago, I believe, instead of getting 6-star Unstoppable Colossus for 1.6 million loyalty, which it's crazy they haven't lowered that price with 7 stars in the game. Isn't that crazy? We get a 6-star Awakening Gem Crystal for 1 million loyalty. Just like we could go all the way to like Zone 25 and Incursions to get a 6-star Awakening Gem Crystal. Not a generic, just a crystal. 150,000, by the way, gets you 5 6-star 6 cents. Talk about, and I think Kabam recognizes this because they've talked about it. Talk about like a need to really drastically change that store. But in the process of trying to improve Alliance War, Kabam has, of course, run into some bugs, run into some hiccups, run into some issues that were not foreseen. And look, I do empathize with that. I sympathize with that because I don't know how to code. I'm sure it's difficult. I've had people tell me that they can code way better than Kabam's coders, and I keep thinking, then apply at Kabam because they need the help. Maybe you don't want to work at Kabam. Maybe you don't want to move to Canada. Maybe it's not a remote job. I don't know. But they need the help. But in the meantime, from my perspective, I just expect issues every time I play this game. I remember Katie Candy, when she left the game for a while, said, I don't want to come back to the game unless it's fixed. And I said, well, then you're never coming back. It's never going to be fixed. I wish I could say it was. It's not. In this space, we have this forum post, and I want to shout out my man Hoff 64 who posted this as well. But I mean, it's not just a forum post; it's basically all over the forums. Period. Alliance War matchmaker issues. We have temporarily taken down our Alliance War matchmaker to address issues. We're evaluating pushing the start of the season. I mean, that's the big news. Compensation conversations are happening with no specific timeline or details at that time. Okay. And by the way, I guess I should darken the screen again and pull up a second topic for my man Brian Shadow Strike, who sent me the information when I was not able to record anything. I actually went, even though I had recorded things ahead of time, I went 2 days without recording a single video, and it was glorious. Hello, Summoners. Our Alliance War matchmaker has run into an issue. This is from July 29th. Where some, but not all, matchmaking efforts. As a result, we have taken it down to allow our team to work on it, and matchmaking will not take place over the weekend. The source of the issue was the clawback. The clawback. When I think of clawback, I think of like Weapon X for some reason. The clawback of the Mythic Crystal exploits any matchmaking surrounding defenses with defenders who are being removed from accounts tripped up the matchmaker, resulting in no match. So again, any matchmaking surrounding defenses with defenders who are being removed, which makes sense. I don't know why they would remove defenders and try to keep the game normal. That sounds like a really bad recipe for a disaster, and I think they found that out the hard way. Our team has a handle of where the issues took place and are confidently resolved in time to ensure a smooth launch when the season starts next week. we are evaluating pushing the start of the season again to give Summoners the opportunity to have a proper preseason. We will have more information Monday. We recognize this is not ideal, but we want to make sure we commit to the season start with confidence. Additionally, we're aware of the issues not impact all alliances equally, and we'll take it into consideration with veteran compensation. As always, I don't do alliance war. I'm not making this video to ask for compensation on my part. I'm making this video for people who really still, other than Battlegrounds. Like, I've got plenty of people who tell me, Prof, I hate this game because it's so boring. So much content is repetitive. Alliance Quest is just like the same thing over and over again. Event Quest is just the same thing over and over again, except for terrible rewards. Battlegrounds at least feels somewhat fresh because you don't know who you're going to be matched up with and how good their roster is going to be and how good your skills are going to be in your matches, blah, blah, blah. And then also Alliance War is still something that gives me some high of emotions. Can't really identify with those because I am definitely your average summoner with an above average YouTube roster. But in the end, we can't be surprised by this. But at the same time, I get it. I get why there's so much disappointment and anger since July 4th week, and I should also include July 4th week in that, because people who couldn't afford the offers felt like they were just left in the dust, like Thanos snapped them out of existence. And then some people, and this is what was really scary, felt like if they didn't buy the offers, they would quit the game because then they'd be behind. So they bought the offers, but they couldn't really afford to buy the offers. So now they're like, I don't know if I can pay my credit card bill this month because of this game. And that's why I call it the Marvel Casino of Champions, because the temptation to gamble oftentimes can result in poor financial decisions. With that being said, random tangent. We'll see what happens with Alliance War season. I want to thank everybody who responded to my video talking about a channel update. I specifically did not say in the title of the video, though a lot of people just don't watch the video. You know, they just go to the comments. I specifically said in the video that I was not going to title it something that made it sound like I was never going to produce content again or wasn't going to do YouTube. I'm still going to dedicate some time throughout the week to YouTube, to emails, to messages, but it is going to be a heavily condensed amount of time compared to what I've done for the last 5.5 years. I'm going to sometimes condense it to like half an hour instead of 5 hours. You won't see the change that much depending on the day. But if you think to yourself, gosh, I don't remember the last time that guy made a 15-minute poll video about the tier lists, I might just not do it again. It takes too much time. There are a lot of topics I used to tackle, some bold, some not so bold, that I needed a lot of time to talk about. And yes, those videos do well, and yes, all things equal, they make more revenue. But I don't do this for revenue. I am not about clicks, I'm about community. And so I have the luxury of just choosing to do shorter videos to help make people feel good, even if they don't get many views. So that's my commitment starting in the fall semester of 2023, which, spoiler alert, is now. Have a good one.